Imagine this for a moment. What if the life you dream about isn't far away? What if it's not something you have to chase, earn, or struggle to create, but something already present, waiting for you to receive it? Neville Goddard taught something profound. Everything you desire already exists. You don't have to manifest it out of thin air. You only need to align with it. This changes everything. Most people are caught in a cycle of wanting, wishing, and waiting. They look at the world and feel like what they need is out there, separate from them. But Neville flips that idea completely. He says the world is yourself pushed out, which means what you seek is already within. And your job isn't to go out and get it. Your job is to receive it by changing how you see yourself. In this video, you're going to learn how to do just that. You'll discover why your assumptions are more powerful than your actions, how imagination becomes the doorway to reality, and why receiving is more natural than forcing. So if you've been working hard to attract a breakthrough, a relationship, money, peace, or clarity, stay with us, because this could be the key that shifts everything. Welcome to Ignis Mindset. If you're new here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss a powerful insight that can change your life from the inside out. Now let's go deeper into Neville's method and uncover what it truly means to receive what already exists. Neville Goddard's most central idea is simple, but completely transformative. You become what you assume yourself to be. This is the law of assumption. Whatever you consistently believe about yourself and your life will eventually harden into fact. It isn't wishful thinking. It isn't about positive affirmations that you say once or twice. It's about persistent inner conviction. Neville once said, assumptions, if persisted in, will harden into facts. Think about that. If you assume you're successful, not just once, but day after day, it becomes your experience. If you assume you are loved, you will find yourself in a world that reflects love back to you. Not because the world changed first, but because your inner story did. You don't need evidence to start assuming something. In fact, waiting for evidence keeps you stuck. The real power is this. You choose the assumption first, and the world catches up. This is where most people get it backward. They wait for their outer life to give them permission to feel wealthy, confident, loved, or free. But Neville is clear. Life mirrors your inner state. Always. This law is always working, whether you're conscious of it or not. The question is, are you assuming on purpose? Or are you letting fear, doubt, and habit run the show? If you walk through life assuming things never work out, you'll live in a world where they don't. But if you begin to assume that life supports you, that things come easily, that you're the kind of person who wins, then that becomes your truth. So how do you use this practically? Begin by watching your self-talk. Listen to the quiet story playing in your mind each day. Are you assuming struggle? Are you assuming that you're exactly where you need to be, and that everything is unfolding for your good? Neville doesn't ask you to force anything. He simply invites you to become aware, to be deliberate in your inner world. Because when you do that, when you live from the assumption of your wish fulfilled, you begin to align with the life that already exists, quietly waiting for you to receive it. Neville Goddard declared with absolute clarity, imagination is the only reality. To most, imagination seems like fantasy, something children use to play or artists use to create. But to Neville, imagination is the very fabric of reality. Every invention, every business, every relationship, every healing, it began as a thought, as an image held in consciousness. Everything you want already exists in this unseen realm, not in some faraway, mystical place, but in the field of imagination. And the moment you dwell there long enough with feeling, you begin to pull that version of life into form. You are not creating it out of nothing. You are selecting it from the infinite. Neville used to say, man is all imagination. He meant that your true identity is not your job, your past, your body, or your circumstances. Your real self is consciousness. the creative power that imagines and believes. And this self moves through states. When you dwell in the state of having, life begins to mold itself around that vision. Let's say you desire peace, true, deep peace. In the world, you might search for it in a new environment, fewer problems or better people. But Neville points inward. He says, close your eyes and imagine what peace would feel like. Not think about it, but feel it. Touch it inwardly. Rest in it. The more you return to that inner state, the more the world around you will mirror it back. Why? Because imagination is not just daydreaming. It's your power to access what's real before it shows up on the surface. All things exist now, not someday, now. The only gap is your awareness. If you continue to tell yourself it's not here yet, you push it further away. But if you dare to believe, to truly feel, it is already mine, then your imagination becomes the receiving station. And here's the key. You don't have to figure out how. You don't need to plan every step or control every detail. Your only job is to remain faithful to the scene you've chosen in imagination. The bridge of incidents will unfold on its own. This is the shift that removes pressure and anxiety. You're no longer a beggar trying to get something. You're a receiver, calmly accepting what is already yours in a higher realm. The more real it becomes to you inside, the faster it shows itself outside. So ask yourself, what are you imagining most? Are you rehearsing failure, rejection, delays? Or are you stepping into the scene of the life you truly want? Because that scene already exists. You're not trying to build it. You're learning to receive it through the power of assumption and the creative force of imagination. We often hear the word manifestation used as if we're conjuring something out of nowhere, as if we're trying to force reality into shape through sheer willpower. But Neville Goddard offered a different understanding. You don't manifest things in the traditional sense. You receive what already exists. This is a subtle but powerful shift. Think of it this way. You're not climbing a mountain to reach your dream. You're tuning yourself to the frequency where that dream already lives. It's not about pushing and striving. It's about aligning and allowing. Neville said, all that you could ever desire is already present. It only awaits recognition. In other words, you are not trying to attract something to you from the outside world. You are shifting within into the version of yourself that naturally experiences the thing you want. Let's break that down. If you want to receive wealth, don't chase it. Instead, begin to walk, talk, feel, and think like someone who already has it. Your assumption, your self-concept must reflect that version. The wealth already exists in the unseen. The only barrier between it and you is your belief that it's missing. Neville teaches that every possible version of reality already is. You don't create from scratch, you select. And how do you select? By feeling, by embodying the state of already having what you desire. Not hoping, not waiting. Being. You don't need to be worthy in some future sense. You don't need to fix your past. The only requirement is your present awareness. Can you dwell in the state of the fulfilled desire right now and stay there long enough for it to solidify? This is why Neville emphasized the power of remaining loyal to an idea. It's not enough to imagine once and then return to fear, doubt, and worry. You must assume and persist, not to force the world, but to stay open to the version of reality where your desire already exists. Think of it like tuning a radio. The station is already broadcasting. You don't create the music. You simply turn the dial until you hear it clearly. The same is true with receiving what you want. The reality you desire is already playing in imagination. Your job is to tune in emotionally, mentally, spiritually. And here's what's even more powerful. When you truly receive inwardly, when you fully accept the desire as already done, the outer world begins to echo it in ways you couldn't predict. This is what Neville called the bridge of incidents. You don't have to plan how it comes. It unfolds naturally as long as you don't resist it with disbelief. You may notice little signs, conversations, ideas, opportunities, even obstacles that redirect you, and they'll all be part of the path to your fulfilled desire. But the journey only begins when you stop trying to manifest from lack and instead start receiving from abundance. So ask yourself today, what are you holding on to tightly, trying to force into existence? Can you let go of the struggle and instead relax into the truth that it already exists? Can you receive it not as something distant, but as something present and alive in your imagination? That's the secret. You are not a beggar in life. You are the operant power. You are the one who receives not by deserving, but by being. And everything you've ever wanted is already yours. If you can allow yourself to see it, feel it, and live it now. Neville Goddard warned about something many people fall into without realizing: the endless search for signs. People often wait for a confirmation, a repeating number, a phrase, a dream, someone saying just the right words before they believe their manifestation is on the way. But Neville said clearly, signs follow. They do not precede. In other words, the signs come after you've assumed the state, not before. When you're constantly scanning your reality for proof, you're actually affirming that the thing you want isn't here yet. That feeling of "let me see if it's coming" keeps you in the very state of lack that delays it. The real shift is this: stop looking for evidence. Start being the evidence. Imagine this: if you already were the version of yourself who had what you wanted, would you be out there looking for signs? No. You'd be living, feeling, and thinking from the end. You'd be walking like it's done. That's what Neville called living in the end. You become the sign when your thoughts, actions, and inner conversations line up with the fulfilled desire. If you want to be loved, stop waiting for someone to prove it to you. Assume it, feel loved, be someone who believes they are already cherished and wanted. Your world will begin to reflect that. This isn't just positive thinking. It's identity shifting. Neville taught that your outer life is nothing but an echo of your inner state. So the question isn't "where's my sign?" but rather "who am I being right now?" The moment you decide to step into that new version of you, the confident one, the loved one, the successful one, you've already begun changing the story. That change may not show up immediately in your physical world, but something will begin to move. People will respond to you differently. Circumstances will shift. Doors will open. Because the world, as Neville taught, is yourself pushed out. So release the need to check the scoreboard every 5 minutes. Let go of asking, is it working? That question itself is resistance. Instead, dwell in the state of "it is done." That's where the peace is. That's where the power is. And the beauty is, once you stop chasing signs and start becoming the sign, life will give you confirmations naturally. You'll overhear something. You'll feel a calm certainty. Something random will happen that feels too perfect to ignore. But by that point, you won't need the sign, because you'll already be living from the knowing. One of Neville Goddard's most repeated instructions is simple, but revolutionary: live from the end. That means don't just wish for something to happen. Don't just visualize it occasionally. Instead, enter into the feeling that it has already happened and live your life from that feeling. Most people live in the state of "I hope it happens." But hope carries doubt. It says maybe I'll get it, maybe not. That emotional state creates more hoping, not having. Neville taught that the outer world reflects your inner assumptions. If you assume it's coming someday, it stays in the future. But if you assume it's already yours, the bridge of events begins to form immediately. Think of it like this: if you ordered something online, you wouldn't keep checking the website every hour, wondering if it's real. You'd go on with your day, already knowing it's on the way. You'd act as if it's coming, because in your mind it already belongs to you. That's what living from the end means. Neville said, dare to assume you are what you want to be. That assumption, held firmly, begins to create the world around you. Not through force or effort, but through a shift in identity. Let's say you want to be in a loving relationship. Living from the end doesn't mean constantly checking your phone or hoping someone texts. It means feeling as though the relationship is already here. You carry yourself differently. You radiate peace, confidence, and affection, because in your imagination you are already loved. Or maybe you want financial success. Living from the end isn't about working endlessly from stress. It's about seeing yourself as someone who already lives in financial freedom. From that place, ideas, actions, and opportunities begin to align naturally. You're no longer chasing, you're allowing. This shift in mindset isn't just powerful, it's magnetic. People feel it, circumstances respond to it, and most importantly, it changes your own emotional world. You move from restlessness to trust, from fear to quiet knowing. It's not a trick, it's a transformation. Neville always emphasized, the world is yourself pushed out. When you change the inner state, the assumptions, the emotions, the self-concept, you change your relationship to everything around you. People, events, and outcomes begin to rearrange in surprising ways. But here's the secret. You must persist. Don't return to the old story when you don't see instant results. Stay in the state. Keep assuming it's done, even when nothing outside confirms it yet. Because faith means walking by assumption, not by sight. Living from the end is not pretending. It's not faking it. It's not faking it. It's living into your truth before the world catches up. So stop waiting. Step into it. Imagine vividly. Feel deeply. Walk boldly. You're not asking life to give you something. You're choosing to receive what already exists by becoming the person who already has it. Neville Goddard taught something most people overlook. Your reaction is the real manifestation. What does that mean? It means the way you respond mentally, emotionally, energetically to your world is what truly reveals what state you're living from. You might say all the right affirmations, visualize daily and feel good during meditation, but your everyday reactions tell the truth about what you really believe. Let's say you're trying to manifest success. You do your morning routine, imagine abundance, feel inspired, but then someone criticizes you, or you see a bill and you spiral into fear or self-doubt. That reaction isn't wrong, but it shows you the dominant state you're dwelling in. Your reactions are like a mirror. They reflect who you truly think you are. Neville once said, your inner speech mirrors your mental state. If you react with doubt, that's the state you're in. And remember, the world only responds to your state, not your words or wishes. So if you want to change your outer world, you must master your inner reactions. Start noticing how you respond to delays, to setbacks, to silence. If your desire hasn't shown up yet, do you think maybe it's not working? Or do you stay calm knowing it's already yours? Do you get discouraged when others doubt you? Or do you continue in your assumption unmoved? Every reaction is a chance to choose again, a chance to return to your chosen state. You don't need to be perfect, just aware. When you catch yourself reacting from the old self, pause, breathe, ask, what would the version of me who has this feel right now? Then shift into that. That's how you realign, not with force, but with awareness. Even when things feel like they're falling apart, your calm reaction could be the signal that you're finally living from the end. The world may test you. That's not a sign of failure. It's a reflection asking, will you hold your new story no matter what? Neville taught that when you can remain faithful to your assumption, regardless of what the 3D world shows you, you've already won. The change is already complete in the unseen. Your calmness becomes the proof. This is why he often said, persistence in the assumption of the wish fulfilled leads to its realization. Persistence doesn't mean pushing harder. It means staying still in the new self-concept, even when life seems to contradict it. So, how are you reacting today? Not just with words, but with energy. Are you moving through the world like someone who already has it? If not, it's okay. You can shift now. Choose again. The next reaction is another chance to return to the version of yourself that's already victorious. Neville Goddard placed immense importance on imagination. To him, imagination wasn't just a mental exercise or a daydream. It was the spiritual gateway through which all creation begins. He said, imagination is God, not as a poetic metaphor, but as a literal truth about how reality is formed. Your ability to imagine is not separate from your reality. It is your reality in seed form. When you close your eyes and imagine something clearly, whether it's love, wealth, health, or peace, you are doing more than visualizing. You are creating a blueprint. The world around you is molded not by outer action alone, but by the unseen assumptions you carry inside. So, how do you use imagination to unlock your breakthrough? Start small. Choose a scene that implies your desire has been fulfilled. If you want a new job, imagine a conversation where someone congratulates you on the role. If you want a relationship, imagine holding hands or hearing someone say, I love you. Don't overthink the scene. Just make it real, vivid, and emotional. Then repeat it, not obsessively, but with a calm knowing. Fall asleep in that feeling. Let it become your dwelling place. That's what Neville meant by living in the end. You're not using imagination to wish. You're using it to assume, and with enough persistence, your inner world will harden into fact. That's the law. It may look like coincidence, chance, or divine timing, but it's all rooted in your imaginative act. Here's the key. You must feel the scene as now, not distant. Don't just say the words. Feel them. Let them land. The body doesn't know the difference between what's vividly imagined and what's physically experienced. That's why imagination is powerful. It bypasses logic and taps directly into your creative power. Neville emphasized that once you've assumed the state of the wish fulfilled, life begins to rearrange itself through a series of events he called the bridge of incidents. These events may seem random or even unwanted at first, but they are part of the unfolding. He said, you will pass through a series of events which will lead you to the fulfillment of the state. This means you don't need to control how it happens. Your only job is to maintain the state of the end and trust the bridge will carry you. Maybe you lose a job and it feels like a step backward. But then days later, a new offer appears that you never would have seen. Or maybe someone leaves your life only to make space for someone aligned with your new self-concept. These are not detours, they are divine movements. Even your own doubts and setbacks are part of the bridge. They are moments giving you the chance to choose again, to return to the state you desire. Neville didn't say manifestation meant never doubting. He said it means never remaining in doubt. When you walk the bridge with awareness, you stop resisting life. You stop labeling things as good or bad. Instead, you hold the assumption everything is unfolding perfectly. That's faith in motion, and the most powerful part. The bridge always works, even if you don't know how, even if you think you messed up. Your dominant state always wins. So stay loyal to your inner world, keep your eye on the end, and walk the bridge with trust. This is the core of Neville's teachings, and perhaps the hardest truth to accept. Everything you want is not outside of you. It already exists, and more importantly, it already exists in you. Neville said, assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled, and live and act upon this assumption. Why? Because nothing comes from outside. Reality is a mirror, a reflection of the inner man. The money, the love, the confidence, the peace, they're all states of consciousness. You're not chasing anything. You're revealing who you truly are. Let's flip the script. Instead of saying, I want to be confident, say, I am confident, and I allow that version of me to lead now. Instead of saying, I want love, say, love is what I am, and the world reflects that truth back to me. This is not delusion. It's decision. You are deciding who you are, and everything follows. You don't manifest by becoming someone new. You manifest by dropping who you are not. You let go of the version of you that believed they were powerless, unworthy, or stuck. You stop telling that story. That's the breakthrough. Realizing that what you seek is already within. And when you embody it mentally, emotionally, spiritually, life has no choice but to match it. If this video found you, it wasn't by accident. You are next in line for your breakthrough. Not because of luck, but because you're beginning to understand the truth Neville shared. Everything you desire already exists. Not in the far-off future, not in someone else's hands, but right here within you, the moment you change your inner conversation, the moment you stop hoping and start assuming, your world will start shifting. The bridge of incidents will unfold. People will respond to the new version of you, and what once felt impossible will begin to feel natural. Don't wait for a sign. Be the sign. Don't wish for a new life. Assume it. And most importantly, persist in that assumption, no matter what. If this message resonated with you, if you felt something inside you shift, then trust that. Don't let it fade. Rewatch this video, journal what stood out, and start applying these principles today. And if you haven't yet, hit that like button and subscribe to Ignis Mindset. We create content designed to align your inner world with the life you've always wanted and already deserve. Thank you for watching. Your breakthrough isn't coming, it's already here.